Lamentation chapter 3. This is the word of the Lord. I am a man who has seen affliction under the rod of his wrath. He has driven and brought me into darkness without any light. Surely against me he turns his hand again and again whole day long. He has made my flesh and my skin waste away. He has broken my bones. He has besieged me, enveloped me with bitterness and tribulation. He has made me dwell in darkness, like a dead of long ago. He has walled me about so that I cannot escape. He has made my chains heavy. Though I call and cry for help, he shouts out of my prayer. He blocked my ways with block of stones. He has made my path crooked. He is bare lying in wait for me as a lion in hiding. He turned my steps, tore me into pieces. He has made me desolate. He's bent his bow and set me as a target of his arrows. He drove it into my kidney and the arrow of his quiver. I've become a laughingstock of all people, the object of his taunt all day long. He's filled me with bitterness, and he's seated me with wormwood. He made my teeth grind in gravel, and made me a coward in ashes. My soul is bereft of feast, and I have forgotten what happiness is. So I say my endurance is perished. So is my hope from the Lord. Remember my affliction, my wrongdoings, my wormwood, my gall. My soul continually remembers that and is bowed down within me. You may be thinking, wow, that's depressing. But the reality, many of us churchgoers, Christians, are perhaps feeling that way. Just like the author says, I'm familiar with what affliction is like. Almost like the feeling of your skin is wasting away. You can't even get up in the morning. The feeling of where darkness overwhelms you, where only bitterness and tribulation seems to characterize your life. You pray, but there's no answer. Seems like as a bear in line to take you down. You just simply want to cower away as you're simply a laughingstock that people taunt you. You want to just grind your gravel. I mean, happiness seems like a long distance, where hopelessness seems like the reality. Saying there is no good in this. God is not in this. God has forgotten me. But the good news is, the passage doesn't just end there. It continues on. Verse 21, it says, but this I call to mind. I love that word, but, like Romans. It says, but God. It's a turning point in the story. Therefore, I have hope. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercy never comes to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Oh, isn't that such good news, brothers and sisters in Christ? That his mercy is renewed each morning. That his faithfulness never comes to an end. Maybe you know someone who needed to hear that. Or maybe you perhaps needed to hear that great promise. You know, it's not good to interpret God based on a circumstance, but to interpret God based on the inerrant, inspired, infallible word of the Lord. Because who he is. Oh, because his wonderful deeds and his wondrous acts. Because of his love that never comes to an end. If you're in hopelessness, you can have hope. Because hope is not found in the fact that there is, in the absence of hardship. Hope is found in the fact that God's mercy is renewed each morning. In the fact that God gave you another day. In the fact that God is faithful. And his endurance lasts forever. And he's on the throne.